September has finally come to us. The morning air is cooler, the flowers have begun to dry out on their stalks, and on some days it's too cool for a swim. Very soon I will be happy to put away the weekly ritual of pool care and the daily watering of the garden. As the leaves slowly begin to turn, the grapes are now heavy on the vine. Picking them is always the sign of the changing season. Today we will do our first harvest of the year. In California, grapes grow incredibly well in our hot, dry climate, and without needing much help from us. These grapes grow lining the fence near my garden, and were planted by another gardener before I moved here. In previous videos, I have shared my parents' massive grapevines that line their property. Mine are an earlier variety, and so they are the first to be harvested.
Look at all these.
They're beautiful.
Full fruit, you know?
Having this little outdoor sink makes washing up large quantities of fruit much easier. I also enjoy preparing things outside during the cooler days of fall. I am making Schiacciata all'uva, which is Focaccia bread with grapes. This is a very traditional bread found in the Tuscany region of Italy, and I'm sure in other places as well. It is a very jammy bread that is layered with grapes, rosemary, olive oil, and a little sugar with a crispy outside and a soft center. I don't quite have the recipe on the blog yet, however I will link for you 2 doughs that you can use for making it yourself, and I will explain the steps here. I like to make a sourdough version, and I'm using my standard sourdough focaccia recipe for this, which I will cut in half and use for the layers. First, you will need to roll out the dough and place it on an oiled baking sheet. I like to use parchment paper to make the transfer easier. Once the dough is rolled out, we layer it with grapes, some fresh rosemary from the garden, a sprinkle of sugar, and we drizzle it with olive oil.
All the love will somehow be coming your way.
Next, I roll out the second layer, and again, rolling it out on parchment paper makes the transferring much easier to do. And just like before, I do another layer of grapes, rosemary, a little sugar, and olive oil. I then press the sides together to make sure that nothing seeps out. I also like to press the grapes into the dough lightly to make sure they keep in place. I bake this at 425 degrees until golden brown. It's important to allow it to cool for at least an hour before slicing. It sort of sets this way. I am making raisins in my little oven that has a dehydrator setting. This takes about 12 hours or so and results in sweet raisins that are great for baking and eating fresh. If you don't have a dehydrator, you can always use a low oven. With the final 8 pounds of grapes, I made a batch of jam, something I do often in fall. You can find my recipe for grape jam with no pectin in the description box below. Thank you so much for joining me for our little grape harvest. I hope you have a great week ahead. I'll see you on the next one.